So this video is part two of lesson three, enterprise business growth and size. Why governments support business startups? So we're gonna know the reasons why governments they support business startups and they support entrepreneurs. We have five main reasons. The first reason is to reduce unemployment. So the first reason why governments they support startups and they support entrepreneurs so they can reduce unemployment, knowing that these new businesses will often create jobs to help reduce unemployment. So this new business is going to offer jobs for the people who are, let's say, looking for a job, so it's going to reduce unemployment. Number two, to increase competition, new businesses give consumers more choice and compete with already established businesses. So one of the reasons why government they are supporting these entrepreneurs in order to increase the competition and to give the consumer more choices and more varieties, more options. So this is the second reason. Number three, to increase output. The economy benefits from increased outputs of goods and services. So one of the reasons why governments support business startups in order to make their country produces more outputs of goods and services, because the value of the output of these goods and services is going to help the economy. Number four, to benefit the society, entrepreneurs may create social enterprises which offer benefits to the society other than jobs and profit. So some businesses they offer benefits for the society. Some businesses their main job is not just to make profit but also to help the society and to benefit the society, showing the society more support. And number five, can grow further. All large businesses were small ones. By supporting today's new firms, it's gonna by the government, it's gonna help them to grow more and to become a very large and important in the future, because these large and important businesses in the businesses were once were small ones. Because of the support of the government, they turned into these large and important firms. Now, let's see the ways government can support business startups. So let's see the ways how governments support business startups. So we have here five main ways. So the first one is business idea and help. Uh, Organizing training for entrepreneurs that gives advice and support sessions offered by experienced business people. So the government can help the entrepreneurs get their training they need, and to get sessions and to offer them sessions and like meetings with experienced people in the same industry that they're trying to work in. And number two, premises, enterprises zones, which is a place to start their business in, which provides low cost premises to start their business in, which is a place. Finance, we're talking about the money to start up their business, either giving out loans for small businesses in a low interest rate, not any kind of loan, but a loan that has low interest rate, and also grants. So we have here loans and here we have grants. If the business startups is startup in depressed areas of high unemployment, so the government can give this new business a grant in order to start their business in this specific area. Number four, which is labor, grants to small businesses to train employees and to help increase their productivity. So also the government is offering help regarding the labor that this business has, to train their employees and to also, because of this training, to increase their efficiency and their productivity. Number five, research, encouraging universities to make their research facilities available to new business entrepreneurs. So the government can offer researches for these new entrepreneurs for them to read and learn more and to gain more experience. So here, Miss, we are going to be speaking about methods of measuring business size and limitation of these methods. In order to know whether this business is a large business or a small one, we have different methods to use. And also these methods, they have a few limitations over here, and we're gonna know them one by one. So who would find it useful to compare the size of the business? Over here, Miss, who would find it useful to compare the size of the business? So we have like 5 main people who are going to be interested to know whether this business is large or small. So the first one is the investor. Before deciding which business to put their savings into, so the first one who is going to be interested in the business is investors. The second people who they are the government. Often there are different tax rates for small and large businesses. So the third one, competitors, workers, and banks. So competitors, to compare their size and importance with other firms. As a competitor, I'm very interested to know the size of the business because I'm comparing my size to the size of the other businesses who are working in the same industry as I am. And here we have workers, to have some idea of how many people they might be working with. So as a worker, I'm really interested to know the size of the business I'm working in, whether I'm working in a business that has like 2,000 employees or 100,000 employees. And here we have banks to see how important a loan to the business is compared to its overall size. So now we are going to be talking about business size. Business size can be measured in number of ways. The most common ways are: number one, number of people employed; the value of output; value of sales; value of capital employed. So here we have number of people employed, number 2, value of output, number 3, value of sales, and 4, value of capital employed. So first, let's see what's capital employed. Capital employed, it's the total value of capital used in the business. So I want to see the value of money, the value of labor, and everything that I've invested in this business. So let's see the first method. The first method, I want to see if this business is large or small by the number of people employed in this business. So this method is easy to calculate to compare with other businesses. So if I say like this business has like 100,000 employees, okay, I'm going to say this is a large business. And if I said like it has like only 5 employees, I'm going to say this is a small business. So it's easy to calculate and to compare with other businesses. But this way it has limitation. Some firms use production methods which employ very few people but produce high level of output. So this number is not going to be accurate because this business is using production methods which employ very few people, but at the same time this business has a high output level. So especially the businesses who are capital intensive firms. Number 2, the value of output. Calculating the value of output is a common way of comparing business size in the same industry, especially in manufacturing industry. So I can see the value of the output and I can decide whether this business is large or small. But this way or this method has a limitation. A high level of output does not mean that a business is large when using the other methods of measurement. So a firm employing few people might produce several very expensive computers each year. This might have higher output figures than a firm selling cheaper products but employing more workers. The value of the output is in any time period might not be the same as the value of sales at some goods are not sold. So the value I can sell like 2 cars, but I can sell them for 6 million. Okay, so the value of output, it doesn't matter the number of sales, but it matters with the value of output. And here, number 3, the value of sales. This is often used when comparing size of retailing businesses, especially retailers selling similar products, for example, food supermarkets. But the value of sales, it has also limitation. It could be misleading to use this measure when comparing the size of the business that sell very different products. For example, a market stall selling sweets and a retailer of luxury handbags of perfume. So some people, they say, I've sold I did like 3,000, let's say, selling process. But at the same time, another business, it might say like in 1 year I only sold twice, but it's not the same. I might sold 3,000 customers, but each customer bought with $1. But I could sold like I sold like 2 customers, but each customer like paid me 1 million. So the value of sales matters. Okay, we don't focus on this number, but more on the value over here. Number 4, value of capital employed. This means that the total value of capital invested into the business. Limitation. This has a similar problem to that of the number of people employed. Measure. A company employing many workers may use labor-intensive methods of production. These give low output level and use little capital equipment. So the value of capital employed, I can be like employing a lot of employees, but at the same time some other businesses, they might be capital intensive, and some businesses could be labor intensive. So like choosing this method only to decide whether this is a large business or this is a small business is not enough. There is no perfect way of comparing the size of the business. It's quite common to use more than one method to compare its results obtained. So here, what we must understand is, in order to know whether this is a large business or a small business, I should use more than one method. Using one method only is not enough.